like to come up here to just clear my head. I think about people, hundreds of people, below, listening to my words, and it makes me calm. I think, what would these people do without me?
Hello, friends, and welcome to me, a social documentary on self-obsession. My name is Rupert Sheldrake, PhD, Personality Psychology. Tonight, we are going to be taking a journey into the minds of the most malign, depraved, and some might say mad people in the world, whose sole power and joy derives from their own self-centeredness. I bring you the narcissists.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live. Not merely.
Narcissism is a condition that complicates the lives of those who embody it, as well as everyone else around them. Is it a mental illness, socio-cultural phenomena, or just a personality trait? Causes are unknown. My geographic research on narcissistic distribution in Maine led us to Colby College, where we found the greatest density of narcissistic cases. I discovered the biggest narcissists on campus and decided to interview them. It didn't take much prodding to get them talking about themselves. How do you interpret the story of Narcissus?
Interpret? What do you mean by that? Interpret the self-subject, the object?
Is that it?
No.
And what of Narcissus?
He was a hedonist. But, like my good friend Aristotle would agree, a little hedonism can go a long way.
And what of your personal philosophy?
Well, if I have to degrade my meaning system to such a base word, it's to elevate my level of thought beyond the pastures that the sheeple are grazing on, beyond the cogs of their tangled machine, their meaningless sheep machine.
So, are you grazing with the sheep? Are you the shepherd? Or are you the wolf?
I am none of those. I'm a black sheep.
And you're only a freshman, I take it, this year. Who is your favorite philosopher? Which resonates with you the most?
I'd have to say, me. Oh, no, just kidding. That won't be until at least sophomore year.
So, what would you have for advice for budding philosophers?
Have you ever stopped to think and forgotten to start again?
Well, there's only one last question I have for you, and it ends on a comical note. How many philosophers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
You don't get it! The light of the mind has no filament. It never burns out!
How very illuminating. Thank you.
Thank you.
How do you help other people?
Well, to quote the great Kristen Chenoweth, when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. So I take people who hate themselves and then make them over in my own image, much in the way that God made man. And so by the time I'm finished with them, they don't hate themselves. They love themselves.
Do you think of yourself as special?
Yes. But I mean, not special so much as essential. I mean, there was nothing without me. Like, I think back to the time before I was born, and I can't remember anything.
Would you call yourself privileged?
Yes. I'm privileged to wake up every morning and see my face staring back at me. I'm privileged to be a keystone in the society. I mean, I'm so important that Marc Jacobs did his spring line about me. You can't tell. It's very subtle, but it's definitely there.
Would you say you're a popular person?
Popular doesn't really even begin to scratch the surface. I mean, the way that people love me, need me, the way that I inspire people, that doesn't amount to popularity. I mean, popularity has so many different connotations. You can earn popularity, or you could take it away, but you can't earn what I have. You can't take away this charisma.
What do other people say about you?
Well, I'm not a very good listener, but I imagine it's something like, I adore you, I need you, you're the anchor I crazy around.
Thank you for joining us. If you would tell us about yourself, please.
Let me just say, I'm a very spiritual person. I try to find out as much of the universe as I can, so mostly I talk to myself. It's all so simple.
How would you characterize your style?
I explore eccentric and esoteric avenues in ways that really envelop all of art.
How do you envelop all of art?
Well, it's simple. Me. Me. Me, 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 me. That's all there is, really. But, you know, it's not just visual art. I do performative elements, too, in public spaces. I try to share myself with
The public?
yeah. I like to follow people around and serenade them with my presence. No one knows what it's like to be the sad man, to be the bad man, behind blue eyes.
But doesn't that make you a bit of an indulgent asshole?
I don't understand the question.
Can you stop? I heard you singing before, and just please don't do that again, because I'm really good at singing, and it's really hard for me to listen to that. I mean, I wasn't bleeding out of my ears or anything, it was just mediocre, which is almost worse.
And how is your work received? What do the critics think?
I try not to pay attention to such insignificant ideas.
Yeah.
No one understands my art. No one understands my art. And I like it that way.
Frank, how often do you say that you come here? Here we are at the Colby College Athletic Facility. Frank, how often do you come here?
Well, I mean, by the look of my body, I come here every day.
What would you say your favorite exercise is?
Well, I'd have to say that'd be any exercise where I get to look at myself in the mirror.
I see. You told me you've named your body parts after proper nouns.
Yes, I have. This one's name is Lewis, with that baby, and this one name is Clark. They are pretty good at exploring new frontiers.
Very well. I noticed a distinctive aroma emanating from your body.
Yes, that would indeed be my man musk. I prefer not to wear deodorant because, well, you could say my smell makes me excited.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me. We decided to defy the doctor's orders, got all the narcissists together anyway. I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. And I am too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
Narcissists are almost clueless about what others' perspectives are about them. What do you think of Frank?
Well, headshots aren't bad, but
Monogram towels are a bit much.
Would you consider yourself special in any way?
Absolutely.
With the narcissism epidemic spiraling out of control, we decided to consult a physician here at Colby. Doctor, how many cases of narcissism have you diagnosed here at Colby?
Colleagues and I believe that most of the students enrolled at Colby College display some narcissistic tendencies, although obviously the severity of the affliction depends on the individual's circumstances and mental mindsets.
And what do you do for treatment for the afflicted?
Well, the treatments we prescribe vary widely depending on the severity of the case. For more low-level individuals, we offer a service by which we remove all mirrors, social networking devices, still and video cameras, and any reflective surface at all from their domicile. For more severely afflicted patients, we have developed a technique by which a specially designed covering is affixed to the patient's upper torso.
And what happens when you get these narcissists together?
Well, when we began to study this problem, we tried helping them by bringing them together in support groups. But these were never fruitful, as they always devolved into bickering over which patient was the best looking, the smartest, the most handsome, the strongest, you know.
We decided to defy the doctor's orders and got all of the narcissists together anyway.
Hey, baby. You want to take a ride on the Frank train?
I'm gonna need someone a little less into himself and a little more into me.
Well, I guess I am pretty amazing.
Amazement is only in the eye of the beholder.
All this, you're just fogging things up. Get it clear, man.
Yes, maybe we should embrace the theory of positivism here.
Put a sock in it, Socrates. I'd rather talk about Bowflex.
Why do you keep doing that?
Disgusting.
Greetings, narcissists. I've seen you haven't strangled each other yet. That's good, because you're going to need basic respiratory capacities to watch this documentary video that I produced and delivered for your morality watching purposes. Well, narcissists, I hope you've learned something from viewing your own depravity and that of your peers. Have you really learned anything?
Certainly. I've learned that I am a prophet!
I'm a great leader.
A genius. Damn, I look good.
Well, narcissist, you certainly have proved yourself to be the greatest narcissist of this entire campus. Save one, of course, myself. You see, you have been hoisted by my own proverbial petard. Be it your narcissism that floats from art to aesthetics to philosophical matters. You see, it's all quite inconsequential when you think of it all as basking in the shadow of my own gigantic ego. You see, you were just the appetizer, tiny shrimp morsels to whet the viewer's appetite. The main course, of course, is me. I'm the alpha, omega, the creme de la creme filet mignon. It is all and ever has and was about me. Me, 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 me.
Okay.
It really was all about me.